LA this week.
A little extra money in the city's budget allows for the purchase of new C-125 helicopters for the LAPD. What are they and what do they do? And more importantly, why do we need them? I'm Gil Reyes with a story next.
I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, how traditional Chinese paintings have helped influence modern art, such as this piece behind me. I have more on this exhibition.
And we'll take you behind the scenes with the crew that makes the Oscars shine. All that coming up.
Hey everyone, I'm Umaima Rashid. Here's what's happening in LA this week. The city has new eyes in the skies to help keep our neighborhoods safer. Gil Reyes joins LAPD and Councilmember Krikorian at Hooper Heliport in downtown LA.
What you are looking at here are the LAPD's newest crime-fighting tools, H-125 helicopters. They're about $5.5 million each, and more are on the way.
We still have helicopters that are vintage 2000, and that's just way too long to keep a police helicopter on the job. So we need to start retiring some of that older stuff, bring in more of this new stuff.
Valley Councilman Paul Krikorian hops aboard one of the LAPD's newest toys. As chairman of the Budget and Finance Committee, he approved the purchase of this H-125 helicopter. Made by Airbus, the LAPD now has several of them.
It's the newer model Airbus, and with that is the newer equipment, newer technology, a lot of technology inside the aircraft to help us do our job.
With infrared and high-def cameras to help catch the bad guys, this sleek new aircraft also makes officers in the air feel safer.
We're in the air 20 out of 24 hours a day. Throughout the year, we'll average roughly 16 to 17,000 flight hours. You know, and that includes our patrol function, our surveillance function, as well as our training.
LAPD Air Support says they receive 50,000 calls a year. With the recession behind us and more money in the city's budget, 2 more H-125s are expected this summer. How was the flight for you?
Oh, it was smooth as silk. Now that we have a balanced budget, we've eliminated most of our structural deficit. Through the hard work that we've engaged in over the last 5 or 6 years, we're able to start restoring services, and this is about the most critical kind of service that our constituents expect.
Councilmember Krikorian says the city has also approved $18 million in additional air support for the fire department. Circus acts that feature animals may soon be a thing of the past. This week, state and city leaders such as Councilmember Paul Koretz introduced a motion banning the use of wild and exotic animals in traveling acts.
Consumers are having a harder and harder time justifying the fun of cotton candy under the big top once they become aware of the heartless abuses that go into getting a wild animal to succumb to doing unnatural parlor tricks in the center ring. Well, we're here to announce that Los Angeles is going to have before the City Council, and I'm introducing it today, a resolution in support of Senator Ben Huesos, SB 313, which will ban exotic and wild animals in all circuses in California.
There's more tigers in captivity than there are left in the wild, and they're endangered species. And it's crazy to be torturing the last of their kind their entire lives for an hour of entertainment for somebody else. They live and die solely to entertain someone else.
To think of them being abused just for money, it's very hard.
Changing the world begins with us, and we really need to create a society where people don't take any pleasure in the inhumane treatment of another animal or another human being or anything at all.
Turning now to honoring African American Heritage Month, as scholars and community members came together to recognize the history of African American migration to Los Angeles during turbulent times.
African Americans in particular decided to leave the Jim Crow South, mostly because of, racial hostility, Jim Crow laws, and they were trying to get better opportunities. And so coming with the second Great Migration, my great-grandparents actually came in a wave and settled in Compton.
Well, we're at a time of change, of tumult. We're looking at, what can we learn from the past that can provide guidance for going forward. And so the migration patterns that got us here in LA and brought so many people to this melting pot that we call the Southland, this gives us a chance to reflect on how we got here and use that as a springboard for going forward.
I think it's about a very fundamental expression of freedom, where your ability to move to a place that you desire to live is important and changes the outcomes for your family members and for generations to come. And so when you think about black migration, it's about black people's ability to create a new future for themselves and for their families in a new place.
We cannot continue to live by myths. We need to deal and live with truth. And I'd like for Angelenos to take away, let me respect you and you respect me for who I am, what I do.
The discussion today was an assessment of how well or, how are black people progressing, and are they still progressing in that way forward?
So we hope that this discussion will reveal some of the challenges that African Americans have had as they have moved throughout this country, but that more importantly, it will continue to underscore the achievements that they've been able to accomplish despite the barriers and the challenges that they have had.
It's great to hear from folks the different perspectives and thoughts about the African American community in both here in Los Angeles and at large in the country.
We also got a special treat this week with 3 celebrated authors that came together to discuss the African American experience and their contributions to Los Angeles.
Well, every year for Black History Month, we put on some public speaker programs. Earlier in the month, we did one on the migration and transformation. And tonight it was about Black authors who are writing and talking about both our history and telling both fiction and nonfiction stories. So it's a great night.
I'm presenting a photographic essay of African Americans in Los Angeles, and it basically depicts the beauty of the African American community. There's a focus not just on celebrities and gangs, which are the 2 prominent areas that we always see, but it just focuses on everyday lifestyle of African Americans.
I wanted my book to be one that when the potential buyer opened that cover and they read that first paragraph, they wouldn't put the book down and they wanted to find out what happened next. I hears him holler, "Hike! Hike!" to that ox. And we takes off. We's going down that road, but I scared. Didn't know where I'd been, didn't know where I was going. But I know, I scared.
The stories of African Americans are rich, and the culture is rich, and there are so many things to write about. We've had to help to build and make things that people don't even talk about. My grandchildren, for instance, they don't realize the struggle that we had. So by writing it down and passing it on, they then will understand that they didn't just walk into this wonderful free life.
Well, the book, The Obama Inheritance, is essentially a collection of these 15 short stories about Obama and his time in office or his time out of office. And, it's pretty wild stuff. We got lizard men, we got underground civilizations, we got time travel, we got everything in this book that you could possibly want. Interesting times that we're in now in terms of media, what passes for truth, what passes for fiction, and maybe something you'll get out of these stories is to sort of think about all of that in a broader context.
They broke ground last March, and now, 1 year later, it's time to celebrate. Councilmember Paul Krikorian and community members joined together for the opening of a new health and rec center, focusing on at-risk youth.
2, 1.
This has been the end of a long journey and a new beginning, I guess, at the same time.
What we're doing today is we're having a grand opening of our Health and Recreation Center, which has been a dream of the youth and families we serve for over 10 years. And luckily, we were able to partner with the City of Los Angeles and hundreds of other donors to build this $1 million center for our youth and families.
We're honored to have been working with New Directions for Youth
for 4 years to make this project come to a reality.
Many rec centers, even if they have low fees, they still have fees. We work with young people who are in foster care or have had interaction with the criminal justice system. We work with families in crisis who are suffering in poverty. And this is for them, it was built for them, and it's free of charge.
So the space that we're standing in now was a garage space with garage doors in 2 places. So we designed a dance room that you see here, a fitness room, a recording studio, and a locker room with showers.
It's a phenomenal new opportunity for the young people that New Directions for Youth serves to get exposure to the arts and to music, to fitness. They have a robotics program upstairs. There's so many great opportunities for these young people that this facility will make happen.
It really offers a lot of different ways that they can help address the whole child and the whole family and find ways to kind of break patterns that kids sometimes find themselves in.
They helped me in a way that I'm pretty sure no one else could have helped me, because I had family come up to me and try to help me about my money issues, and it just never helped. But New Directions for Youth, I had people talking to me saying, like, really getting into my head, saying, if you don't save up your money, then how are you going to live, you know?
The New Directions leadership saw this vision to reality, and this is really going to be able to serve thousands of young people now and change lives.
They really do amazing things with setting kids that were on a course that potentially would lead to jail or incarceration, and really turning lives around.
It's never too late to change. It's never too late to change your ways. There's always options out there for you. You just gotta look for them.
It's not every day you get to see what goes on backstage at the Oscars, right? Well, come along as we take you on an exclusive tour with the brothers and sisters of IATSE Local 33.
We're here at the Oscars. How cool is that? The set, it's amazing. The props, everything about it's so cool, but I can't show you any of it. We're here with Local 33 to give you a behind-the-scenes look. Check it out.
It's Oscar week in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is the best place in the world for a major event like this. And quite frankly, it's based on something very simple: experience.
Local 33 is your main labor support here at the Oscars. We've been doing this job for 50 plus years. We can't thank the Academy enough and the City of Los Angeles for keeping this event here in Los Angeles.
Local 33 and all of the other unions that are part of this massive production and this glamorous production. We all work together as a team to get it done, no matter what. As they say, the show must go on. It broadcasts live at 5 o'clock on Sunday, so no matter what, it has to happen.
Our office works hand in hand with all of the relevant unions that do this work that keeps middle-class families thriving here in California.
I've been with Local 33 for 44 years. I've worked hard, I've worked long hours, but I will retire in 3 years, and I will be smiling for the rest of my life.
We look out for one another, we protect each other, and we actually work as a family.
I like to think of our men and women as Swiss Army knives. They have the tool for everything to have your show and your production successful. Come show night, there will be closer to 200 stage technicians on show night, and we will also have approximately 125 more stage technicians out on Hollywood Boulevard attending the red carpet and making sure that's a successful event as well.
For the show, I hand out the trophies.
We are the stewards of the Oscar trophies themselves, which is very interesting.
I register the serial numbers with them, and then they go out.
We're just the best place to be for the entire industry because we are the industry.
It's a modern exhibition that's steeped in tradition. Rasha Goel shows us a new exhibit at the Chinese American Museum, where you'll be seeing things in a whole new light.
What you may see through your eyes may be different from what I see.
but we are all seeing featured pieces of Lightscapes, an innovative light-based exhibition that blends traditional Chinese landscape paintings with new technologies, and it's at the Chinese American Museum.
I think even with the traditional paintings, they were meant to be very sensory producing. This one, though, really hits you in the face as our two artists interpreted the experience of landscape painting.
Lightscapes features works from Taiwan-born Nick Dong and Wu Chi-sung. Chi-sung transforms daily objects and phenomena into poetic imagery, while Dong's goal is to engage audiences with an immersive experience. And this is one I enjoyed stepping into. This exhibition is meant to be experienced individually. Some of the themes include self-reflection, meditation, and serenity. As you can tell from the looks of this place and even hear the sounds, it is definitely very peaceful. And all I can say is, well, I'm in a blissful place. And these pieces here are actually suspended in the air as they move with motion sensors.
They both have this sense that not only should art be current, but they should be open for everyone to enjoy and to interpret on their own. And I think what we're seeing in their products now is how they feel art should be.
Lightscapes was organized by the Chinese American Museum in partnership with the Ministry of Culture, Republic of China, and the Taiwan Academy in Los Angeles. And if you haven't been to the Chinese American Museum, it's worth visiting.
We're more of the experiences of the people who stayed here when the Chinese Exclusion Act was legislated that kept Chinese for decades out of the United States. And so the museum was to talk about and educate the general public about that aspect of American history, of California history, and about LA history.
Lightscapes exhibition will run through November 10th.
Admission is free. For more information on the exhibit and museum, you can go to the museum's website at camla.org. Deciding where to go on your next vacation isn't as easy as it sounds. That's why thousands of travelers flock to the Travel and Adventure Show at the LA Convention Center to get ideas, tips, and inspiration for their next trip. And there was plenty to choose from.
The Travel and Adventure Show is the first stop you need to make on your next vacation because you're going to explore the whole entire world here all under one roof. You're going to meet tons of destinations that are not on your bucket list, and you're going to find new ones that you may have never thought of visiting before. We have over 4,000 destination experts who are on hand to help you find, plan, book, and personalize your next trip at a price you're not going to find anywhere else.
We come to the travel show every year just to see what's new and what people are offering, and it's fun for us because we live in LA.
We're looking at different kinds of travel, actually. We're thinking about full-time RV travel, and we're just kind of trying to figure out what's out there for us, and we thought, hey, maybe we can find something here.
For us in Los Angeles, this is the gateway to the Cook Islands. This is a gateway to going to a destination where you're flying non-stop to a totally non-commercialized destination. And for us to showcase our culture here, it's important. We bring our string band, we bring our dancers from the Cook Islands, give us the opportunity to showcase our culture, showcase our destination.
We've been in LA for 14 years now, and 2020 is going to be our 15th year anniversary. We're going to have a big party, so make sure to come see us in 2020.
We'd be crazy to try and review all 40-plus food stalls in downtown's popular Grand Central Market, so we'll pick a couple, while giving a taste of what the new owners have in store. Gil Reyes has more.
They say Los Angeles is the land of the beautiful people, and though the entertainment industry is definitely a big part of that, the real reason for LA's beauty is the diversity of its people. So many different types of beautiful people, tasting so many different types of beautiful and tasty cuisines. And if you're talking about diverse food options, then you have to be talking about downtown LA's Grand Central Market.
No place in Los Angeles has this many cultural food options under one roof. Downtown's Grand Central Market is home to some 40 vendors and counting, including Wexler's Deli.
Bagels and smoked fish, great pastrami and corned beef sandwiches. And it's one of the things that we actually love about Jewish delis is it's one of the cuisines in America that sort of transcended its roots of just for Jewish people and is actually one of those great American cuisines.
Co-owner Michael Wexler and his crew take pride in their must-try pastrami sandwich, the MacArthur Park, and take pride in being part of this ever-changing melting pot of a market.
It's a hodgepodge of the new LA, and I think a lot of what LA wants to be, and the current conversation in LA of, you know, what's great about our neighborhoods, what do we want our communal spaces to be, how do we want to reflect our culture in our shared spaces.
Looking at what a lot of the needs and wants are from a consumer perspective, looking at the flow of foot traffic.
Creative director Aaron Mavian tells us what the market's new owners have in store. Langdon Street Capital bought out longtime owners, the Yellen family, about a year ago.
So the stall behind me, for example, is one that isn't being used right now. But it gives us the opportunity to, at times, do short-term leasing, so to bring in a pop-up, per se. We want to take into consideration people who have a great story to tell, that are connected to Los Angeles, that have an entrepreneurial spirit.
Opening in Grand Central Market this month is La Fruteria, selling exotic Mexican fruit salads and shakes. After 102 years in downtown, the market is also seeking historic designation from the city while maintaining its immigrant vibe.
My mom came from El Salvador, so she fled the Civil War.
Paul Serrano's family fled war-torn El Salvador to open Sarita's Pupusaria in 1998. We recommend the Revuelta, a pupusa made of pork, beans, and cheese. But of course, that's just one option in LA's diverse Grand Central Market.
You can enjoy pupusas, you can go enjoy sticky rice.
Barbecue over there, horse thief too. You got egg club right here in the front. You know, you can choose whatever you want. That's great.
The market has a few spaces available for vendors who make a good fit. For leasing info, log on to grandcentralmarket.com. Plenty of puppets, puppeteers, and kids were on hand for the 5th annual Bob Baker Day held at LA State Historic Park. It was a celebration of a man whose legacy continues to bring so much joy to the community.
Today is the Bob Baker celebration, and it's a really lovely place to get to come and hang out with a bunch of puppets and meet new friends.
It's been a full-on day-on festival of fun, of puppets, of games, of food, of just a good time.
I love puppets. In fact, my mom would go to Mexico and get me the Mexican puppets, and they were hanging all over my room. So I've always really liked them, and I'm glad my kids like it too.
In a lot of cases, this is a child's first theatrical experience, kind of seeing a show, seeing song and dance. It's a gateway to the whole world of culture and communication and theater.
Well, Bob Baker is a fixture on the LA scene. On top of just the artistry of puppetry and the beauty and the fun and the joy that it brings everybody, perpetuating that history and celebrating LA history is super important to us. It's a reflection of LA. It's a cross-section of all socioeconomic backgrounds and ethnic backgrounds are representative of Los Angeles.
I absolutely want to limit screen time and devices, and this just opens their eyes, makes the world seem bright and magical.
Illegal pot shops in LA may soon be going dark. A new temporary housing shelter is approved, and a local business is recognized for helping green the environment. All this in City Beat.
LA City Councilwomen Nuri Martinez and Monica Rodriguez are ready to flip the switch and cut off utilities to LA marijuana dispensaries operating without a license. The City Council approved the new ordinance by a 13-0 vote. Once enacted, hundreds of illegal pot shops will literally go dark. In another unanimous vote, the LA City Council approved Councilmember Jose Huizar's motion for an urgently needed temporary homeless shelter. Funded by Measure H funds, the motion will provide housing and emergency services for 115 homeless residents near Paloma Street in downtown Los Angeles. And moving toward a greener LA, the City of LA and LA Sanitation honor downtown LA Auto Group's 6 dealerships with Gold Star Environmental certification. Since partnering with Recicla, the dealerships have reduced their landfill waste by a whopping 73%.
It's off the charts for someone this early and this quickly.
LA's Chinatown lit up in a dazzling display of fireworks, ushering in the 41st annual Firecracker Run and Bike Ride, one of the largest and longest running Chinese New Year charity runs in the nation.
The 41st annual of the Chinatown Firecracker event. You got folks who are going to do 41 miles today all the way to Sierra Madre and come back here to the heart of Los Angeles, right here in Chinatown.
3, 2, 1,
I'm doing the 40 miles for the first time. Good way to start the Chinese New Year. Here we go.
It's important because proceeds from this event go back into the community.
Castle Elementary School, Solano Elementary School, in and around that benefits the people who live and work in Chinatown. It's a great thing.
Thank you all for coming out to celebrate the year of the pig with us.
That brings Los Angeles together. When we do that, we become stronger as a city and as a state.
Come dressed as your favorite Disney character for a Harry Potter crossover event, check out a new exhibit honoring a prolific Black composer, and enjoy a panel discussion on African American contributions in LA. All this and things to do.
Halloween comes early this year at the Walt's Wizarding World's 2nd annual cosplay crossover event. Come dressed as your favorite Disney character as if they've lived in the realm of Harry Potter. All crossovers involving Disney properties are welcome. Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, you name it. Mash up your favorite character costumes at Walt's Wizarding World's 2nd annual cosplay crossover event, happening Saturday, March 9th, beginning at 10 a.m. The event takes place at Universal Studios Hollywood, 100 Universal City Plaza. For more details, check out facebook.com/events. The William Grant Still Art Center is set to unveil their 11th annual African American Composers Exhibition. This year's program is entitled Music is Art, Music is Philosophy, Music is History, the Legacy of Dr. William Grant Still. This exhibition will be in partnership with the Los Angeles Philharmonic. Get swept up in the symphonies and legacy of William Grant Still at the William Grant Still Art Center. The opening reception happens Saturday, March 16th. For more details, call 323-734-1165. The Los Angeles Public Library invites you to the March edition of LA Made, a cultural series featuring free performances and conversations with local entertainers at libraries throughout the city. This month's program is entitled Black Angelino Trailblazer Families. LA Made is happening Sunday, March 10th, beginning at 2 p.m. in the Mark Taper Auditorium of the Central Library. For ticket information, visit lapl.org/LAMade. And that's a look at some things to do.
That's it for this edition. I'm Umayma Rashid. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.